Imagine this. You wake up in the morning and realize there's no money in your pocket. But it's not just you. No one has any. Because money has never existed in the world. How would people trade? Would there be no rich or poor? And what about love, work, and friendships? Would they look completely different? A world without money would reshape civilization from the ground up, rewriting everything from power structures to the development of technology. Before start, don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking explorations like this. Now, let's discover step by step what life would be like in a world without money. A permanent barter economy would dominate society. Without money, people would rely on direct trade. Wheat for tools, fabric for labor, or shelter for food. While this seems simple, it creates a constant problem of value comparison. How much bread equals one medical treatment? How many hours of farming equal a crafted spear? Complex economies would struggle to form because barter is inefficient and limited to immediate exchanges. Civilization as we know it, cities, nations, global trade, might never have developed. Power would shift to resource and skill ownership. In a moneyless world, wealth would not be measured in bank accounts, but in tangible resources, fertile land, rare materials, or specialized skills. A skilled healer, a blacksmith, or a farmer would hold immense social importance. Instead of capital accumulation, social hierarchies would be built on physical possession and personal reputation. Wars might be fought not for money, but directly for land, food, or water. Innovation might have been slower or radically different. Money has historically fueled innovation. Inventors sought patrons, industries grew from investment, and entrepreneurs took risks because financial reward was possible. Without money, motivation would shift to survival or communal prestige. Some innovations, like advanced medicine or global technologies, might have been delayed for centuries. Yet others, especially those directly serving survival, could have developed faster, since necessity, not profit, would drive invention. Inequality would still exist, but in different forms. Many people imagine a moneyless world as equal, but inequality would persist. It would simply wear a different mask. Those with more land, larger families, or rare resources would dominate others, instead of billionaires with yachts. We might see communities ruled by those controlling fertile valleys, iron mines, or fresh water. The struggle for power would remain, only in a more direct and visible form. Long-distance trade and globalization might never happen. Money made global exchange possible. Silk from China, spices from India, gold from Africa. All these traveled across continents through monetary systems. Without money, long-distance trade would be impractical. Carrying a herd of goats across seas to exchange for salt or silk is impossible. Cultures might have remained isolated, technological knowledge spreading only through slow migration or conquest. The world could be far less connected than it is today. Human relationships would be deeply altered. In a moneyless world, marriages, friendships, and communities would be built less around financial security and more around survival, trust, and resource sharing. Dowries, inheritances, and economic partnerships would vanish. On one hand, this could mean more authentic human bonds. On the other, relationships might become transactional in different ways. Love and social structures would still exist, but they would carry a different weight. Crime would take different forms. Without money, theft would still exist, only instead of wallets and bank fraud, people would steal food, tools, or land. Raiding communities for resources would be more common than financial scams. Entire societies might have evolved in a more tribal, conflict-driven way, with constant battles over physical goods rather than abstract wealth. The concept of rich and poor would be redefined. Today, wealth is measured by digits. In a moneyless world, wealth would mean something entirely different. Access to fertile soil, strong allies, knowledge, or spiritual power. A wise elder with healing knowledge could be richer than a farmer with abundant crops, depending on the context. Poverty would not mean lacking money, but lacking connections, tools, or essential survival skills. Art and culture would depend on community value, not profit. Without money, artists would not sell paintings or musicians sell concerts. Creativity would survive only if communities saw value in it. Storytellers, musicians, and sculptors might be paid in food or protection. Art would likely be more communal, tied to ritual and survival, rather than driven by the market. We might have fewer masterpieces, but stronger traditions of collective creativity. Time and labor would be measured differently. Money allows us to measure and exchange time. 1 hour of work equals a certain wage. Without money, the value of labor would be ambiguous. A teacher's day of lessons, a farmer's day of planting, or a builder's day of construction would all have to be weighed against each other in constant negotiation. This could slow down collaboration and make large-scale projects, like building cities, bridges, or roads, far more difficult. The idea of debt would almost not exist. Debt, loans, and credit are all tied to money. In a moneyless world, the concept of borrowing would be limited to physical goods or favors. One could owe a basket of grain or a day of labor, but not abstract interest or compounding financial burdens. This might free societies from the crushing weight of economic exploitation. Don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking explorations like this.